Roaring sessions allows us to work with the emotional pain caused by our past in a congruent way, which will allow you to literally burn up through all of that emotional pain and all of those animalistic feelings and all those feelings of pure rage that dwell within the deeper parts of you. But roaring in the correct way, which I demonstrated in the last video, will only make you feel amazing afterwards if we can bring up those feelings from your past which came from traumatic past events. But why would the feelings from those past events still hurt you? As I said in a previous Feel Extra Good video, the reason why past events may still hurt you is simply because you haven't yet had the opportunity to deal with them. And our subconsciousness will contain those past and painful feelings until our emotional palette has developed the ability to be able to produce and create those feelings. But due to the huge amount of lag time between when you should have felt them but couldn't, due to the undevelopment of your emotional palette, to present day when you can experience those feelings, but there's no need to experience them anymore, as those past events are well true and gone. But there's more to this story. It's important to keep in mind that the same ratio of feelings still exists within you, and this same ratio of feelings was created back in your past. What do I mean by the ratio of feelings? Let's say that a grown man shouts all his frustration out at his child, all the way through his childhood. Imagine the near 6-foot man letting all his manly aggression out at the 7-year-old who wants nothing more than to just be a kid. The feelings that the 7-year-old can experience are limited by the underdevelopment of his emotional palate. The feelings that the 7-year-old boy can experience are limited by the underdevelopment of his emotional palate, and since it's a man who will be shouting out all those emotions at him, the feelings experienced by the kid should be adult feelings of fear and rage. But if the child's emotional palate wasn't developed enough to produce, experience and handle all those adult feelings, then this is what his emotions would look like. The lion represents the child's feelings, and the lion is ready to defend the child in only the way it knows how, which is to absolutely roar like the animal that it is until the person who hurt the child knows that this animal is never going to go away, as both the child and the lion know that they didn't deserve what they was put through and that they never were in the wrong. And the lion will always stay within the child, and it's going to absolutely change this past situation that the child was put through, as that inner animal is there for protection. As the kid grows into a man, his emotional palate grows and develops the ability to produce the feelings that should have been experienced when his dad shouted at him. But it's important to keep in mind that the feelings from when his dad shouted at the boy aren't just adult feelings, as the ratio between the child's feelings and his dad's feelings has remained the same too. So the child that was shouted at by an adult, now the child is an adult, it's more like an adult being shouted at by a giant, due to the ratio of feelings being the same. And these types of feelings are like feelings on steroids, as they delve into the more animalistic types of feelings that our emotional palates are capable of producing. Finding the right kind of support. What I'm about to say may come as a surprise, but it's very probable that the people around you don't understand what you are going through, because they themselves may not even be aware that our emotional palates are even capable of producing such intense level of feelings that you may be living with daily. The Workhouse Effect. Way back at the start of this self-help system, we learned that when our feelings become unacknowledged within us, they sink into a deeper part of us. And when they sink into a deeper part of us, we're given an even worse feeling to live with and experience. Just like in the British Victorian era, if you didn't have a job, you was given an even worse choice to live with, which was to go to prison or go to the workhouse. So I ask, knowing about the ratio of feelings remaining the same as you grew up, how intense would those workhouse effects be if the feelings they replaced actually represented a giant's rage on you? And when the giant's feelings on steroids are intense, the workhouse effect is even stronger and even more intense. Are you now beginning to understand why you feel so bad? And are you beginning to understand what it is that you are going through? And are you beginning to see why you feel so alone and so isolated in your emotional pain? Are you beginning to see why the people around you who give you answers like try going for a walk, getting up earlier, tidying your home, and not drinking so much, and try and eat healthier foods? They give these types of answers because they aren't aware of the intensity of the feelings that you experience daily. And whenever we feel that we're not understood by the people around us, we easily feel alone in our emotional pain. I wonder what the people around you would be like if they had to live with the giant's feelings on steroids that you've had to live with so far. But we both know what their lives would be like, because they will be living their lives in the same way that you are. But if we could somehow swap our feelings with the feelings of someone you know, I think we both know that they wouldn't survive very long, which is a testament to how well you've coped with those giant's feelings on steroids that you have lived with for so long. This is why, again, I keep on saying that there's nothing wrong with you and you are not broken. I don't think that you need to become a stronger person or lose weight or stop drinking or tidying up and eating healthier in order to feel better in the way that you want to feel better. I think you need to fully understand exactly what it is that you are going through. And so much more importantly, find ways to deal with all the animalistic feelings inside you in a congruent way, which is exactly what we're going to be doing very soon. If this video has opened up an internal door for you and allowed some of those giant's feelings on steroids to come into your conscious mind, then I highly recommend that you go into the roaring room and roar in the way that I described in the last video. And let's see if you can burn up all of those feelings of rage. If no images are coming to mind of a scenario to roar at, then just focus on the feelings in your body and begin roaring. And you may find an image popping into mind which you can then focus your intention on and become the hybrid animal and just go for it and roar out all of those horrible giant's feelings on steroids out at that image. The image may be from a recent event or it may be from a past event, but whatever comes to mind, that is the image that you need to roar at. And if this video has helped you to understand your pain a little bit more, then please give this video a like and please consider subscribing. I feel a little cheap for asking such a small request after shedding some well-needed light on why you may be feeling so bad. But the main thing is you're here and you're finding ways to deal with your pain in congruent ways. But I think about the people who don't yet know that these videos exist, and by liking, commenting and subscribing allows YouTube to push these videos out to a wider audience. And though we may feel like we're going through this all on our own, we're actually all being affected by the same internal process. And it's the misunderstanding of this process or not knowing that the process exists which causes the pain. I want to say a huge thank you to the new subscribers and welcome to my channel. With that said, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.